Oh, never mind. I'm going to go. Oh, got it. Let me go ahead and delete the fucking post.
Oh wait, no, here we go. Here we go.
Wait.
Let's see what happens. I think we might be in some sort of weird time loop.
Is our delay delayed?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It said like.
Oh, wait, there we are. We're live.
I don't wait. We might be double live.
Go, oh, Jesus!
I don't know what's happening. We're either live or we're double live.
Is it real or is it Memorex? And if you get that joke, you probably need to go get a colonoscopy.
God, anybody who can remember that joke doesn't remember Memorex. They're too old to remember. You're like the one guy who is like both old enough to remember it and not old enough to have dementia.
I live in all worlds and no worlds and Ernest P worlds.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah. You better do the intro before I drag us into that.
Right. Let's try this. Let's go. What's up, dark judges, desperados, and dudes in dick-shaped helmets? You're listening to Cursed Earth Radio, the one and only podcast bringing Dredd to the dreadless.
Broadcasting outside the walls of Mega City 1 across the Black Atlantic in North America. I'm Cool Johnny Cool.
And this is Heavy Metal Kid, and we're coming back at you with this week's exciting prog. We made it through the all ages prog, and here we are with 4 exciting stories and a Sinister Dexter thing. Spoiler alert.
We're doing Prog 2281. We're starting a new story with Judge Dredd, an honest man, where we revisit Bent Judge Asher in his quest to not be a dick anymore. Brink has lots and lots of exposition, but I'm here for it, baby. Hope in the Shadows still has me hooked. Dexter, at least we know which one Dexter is these days. And Fiends of the Eastern Front goes full tilt hostile.
Yes, it does. And we're also full tilt hostile here.
What?
God damn it. This is rough.
Yeah, I should. My esteemed co-host is dying, but he is such a trooper that he is here doing the podcast while he's expiring. You tell the whole story, HMK. I've just prefaced it with my preface.
Yeah, no, that's true. And Mac Anorak is in the chat, and it is already Thursday in the UK. So thanks for joining us, sir, all the way from the United Kingdom. But yes, I've come down, Johnny. I made it this far, but finally, apparently, I've contracted COVID, which, luckily for me, seems to have only taken the shape of a head cold and a little bit of chest congestion and some fevers here and there. But I can't complain too much because it's not hitting me the way that I think it hit a lot of people, certainly. So I'm here, and I feel, if it weren't for the fact that I knew it was COVID, I'd say I just had a little cold and it was kind of annoying.
You got that auto sump vax you like, didn't you?
Yeah. I guess I did.
You got the double shot of gunge.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, the gunge really keeps the COVID away here. Well, it doesn't keep it away. It lightens the effect. So,
I thought you were going to say lighten the load, and I had a joke already chambered for that one.
I was just thinking about. I did. Someone in the chat, Chelsea says, I probably spent too much time with the muties. It's probably true. It's
licking strange doorknobs. Out in the cursed earth.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's not.
It's just one of those things where I was thinking, how different it is right now. Not a lot seems to have really changed, but at the same time, I know so many people that have had COVID, and now telling someone you have COVID is very different. Like if I had this exact same thing a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, people would be like, "Oh my God, he's probably going to die." Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, I mean,
it's that level of like, it just, how things have progressed to where it's like, we're vaxxed now, and like,
I was going to say that was two rounds of vaccine and 2 boosters ago.
Yeah, so. Yeah, man. It's just kind of interesting, like how things have changed, and I guess it's not dissimilar, but not similar to like AIDS, where back in the day, if somebody got AIDS when I was a kid, just like, man, they're dead. This dude's gonna die from AIDS.
When I was in 6th grade, back before they had color TVs and invented all the colors in the rainbow yet, I vividly remember being in health class, and they had us watch this video on HIV and AIDS and how it worked. And they likened it to a baseball game where AIDS was at bat and the team in the outfield was the white blood cells, and the team in the outfield was just getting rolled by HIV. And I was like, oh, okay. But we were just at that point coming out of the point where they thought you could get it from doorknobs and toilet seats and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Shrooms on the tongue, not Grubb's disease. Oh my God. I remember that. I know what that is. Oh man, we're also talking about bits haven't started disappearing. I guess apparently that's jigsaw disease now.
Oh, that was one of the stops on the Judge Child that didn't really need to be there. You need to read that, by the way, just so I can, suffering shared is suffering shared.
I've said before, I will totally read the Judge Child if you read the Judge Child again.
Oh, God damn it. I've done it twice in my life. Don't make me do it a third time.
Man, I hated the fucking mutant one. What was that called?
Oh, yeah. What the shit was that? That was when...
Like the follow-up.
Yeah, where they went and Joe got his eyes poked out and he drug his dick through broken glass. That one.
Yeah, that's whatever the fuck that was. I wasn't super excited about either. So I don't know, man.
You know how you don't like Oz now because of all the bullshit, the stringing it out, and the lack of seeing the Jetta more?
Yeah.
Double that, and you get the Judge Child.
Oh man, a lot of people love that Judge Child though, man. I think it was maybe one of those things that maybe when you read it at the time, it was like a real big deal. I think the struggle for us is like, we got on later. So like there were stories that maybe were not as, they really, really had a bad habit of drawing things out way too far. Yeah. City of the Damned, man.
There it is. Did somebody, Mac is here just to help Mom's Special Boys get through this podcast. The Judge Child, I think, was one of the first big epics in Dredd, and it was a big event because it was this long, ongoing story. But they did the same thing where they padded it. Like there's bullshit in there that doesn't need to. They went from point A to point F to point Q, back to this guy's got a mustache, fuck him, and then to point B.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference. Modern Dredd. We'll go back to Necropolis. That's the perfect Dredd story. Once Necropolis happened, it was proven that you could have an epic that truly was epic and didn't need to go to wacky little places. It didn't need look at the Cursed Earth, which is it's amazing, but it's really just a bunch of like little episodic stories with a through line.
Yeah.
Versus I feel like something like Necropolis has a very coherent evolution going all the way through it. And that's to me what makes a good mega epic. And I love episodic stuff. That's why I like a good one-shot Dredd. That's why I like Star Trek The Next Generation more than current Star Trek, because it's episodic and it tends to, I like that stuff more. But if you're going to do a mega epic, make it connected. And I think that's even like Oz, we're talking about Oz. It's really two stories. It's Stopper and it's the Jetta stuff. And if you had separated those two, would it have, I don't know, would we have enjoyed it more? Maybe.
I would have much rather it had been the full length it was and all about the Jetta. I could have Chopper was an addendum and he got in the way. The only time I was happy to see him is when he fought the psychotic robot chef on the boat. Yeah, it
was great.
After that, I kept going, will you get the fuck out of the way? Will you get the fuck out of the way?
Dude, again, old Dredd, a lot of times they didn't know what they had. They were just throwing up cool looking villain. And the Jetta were some dudes that I just feel like, based on their look alone, they were cool enough that they weren't being kind of retold and brought back the way that the Dark Judges were.
Yeah. It was, and have we ever seen them since?
I don't think. No.
Outside of Kraken and Necropolis.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the closest one, man, was Kraken. And it's a shame. It's totally a shame, man. Because they were, if nothing else, they were super fucking cool looking.
I would love nothing more to open up a new Dredd story by Wagner, and all of a sudden there's a psychotic Easter egg in the middle of Mega City 1 just for the holy shit moment. Like,
yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God, there's one left.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
one
That's what
egg.
you want. Yeah. Leftover Jutta. That's good. It's good. I like that.
It's pickled now and it smells terrible. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if we're gonna revisit some stuff, they're like we said, outside of Kraken, their time was super short and deserved a lot more.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Totally agree. And like, and you know, Max says in the chat too, it links our favorite story, and I think that's why prior to doing our Necropolis episode, which is 15 hours long, um, and it's panel for panel.
Oh God.
But prior to doing that, that's why we did Oz, because we were like, man, we kind of have to do this. And I mean, it's also the beginning of that color palette, which we both love.
Oh, the Square Nightmare pastels. I fucking love that shit.
So
I'm so glad that those episodes are no longer up. Nobody needs to listen to that. Like, those are. I'm glad we did our awkward phase in front of like 3 people. If that.
Yeah. But at some point when we get the Cursed Earth Radio podcast network, it'll be in the archives.
We tried that, man. I had the domain set up for Splatterwave, and it's just collecting dust now. No. There's some cobwebs in there. It looks like a disused Spirit Halloween now.
Well, like you said, we're waiting on Elon Musk to take us over and give us that big money. So we'll see what happens.
Cursed Earth will sell out for a unfathomably cheap amount. Trust me.
Right. So let's talk about this Prog, man. I was so excited when I saw this cover.
Yep.
Because this guy right here.
Did you remember him?
I did. Yeah. Good. I certainly didn't remember his name, but I was like, hey, there he is, man.
That's Senior Buttface.
A patient man, right?
A penitent man.
A penitent man. That's right. That's what that was called.
That dyslexia is just murder on you.
Well, in my memory also. I got the COVID brain fog. But yeah, that's right, man. So he's back, and yeah, like I like the story of these disgraced judges, and man, he's gonna get himself in trouble, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, what he did wasn't by the book. I think he's trying to solve a case on his own, but he's got to know that Joe's not gonna be cool with that. He has to. I mean, he is, from what we saw in A Penitent Man, he is very earnest about his own redemption, about helping, about trying to redeem himself. But we meet a bigger dick than Joe, this fucking rookie badge that's on the scene. And this guy goes out of his way to just, he's got his Judge Dredd cosplay kit on. And Joe would be a dick to this guy. I'm going to be a dick to him.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting too, because, they're like, we finally, they're like, yeah, this guy, he's a disgraced judge. He beat a citizen to death. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's what he went away for? Because I'm pretty sure they do that anyway.
I was going to say, have you seen the citizens in Mega City 1?
Yeah.
Otto Sump deserves to be day stick to death. I'm just saying.
So it brings up an interesting question too. Like you got judges out there on the street, right? And so, I mean, I guess it must have been an internal affairs thing where, he beat somebody to death, an innocent citizen, but it's kind of like gray area. Cause like, if you're a Mega City street judge and you judge someone guilty and sentence them to death, how does that get overturned? Or was it that they weren't judged as being guilty and he just accidentally killed them? I don't know.
It must have been an egregious offense for him to get sent to Titan for it. But that being said, that's probably one of the least terrible things someone's been sent to Titan for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, a few hits with a day stick, it's going to give a man brain damage. That's for sure.
Welcome to our podcast. That's how we got here.
Yeah. So I don't know what he did. I want to know, and maybe we're gonna find out. But this is cool, man. It's like I like these characters. This guy could have been like, oh, he was just the guy in the one story, but no, he's back. They're gonna continue his arc. I like this. I
really liked Asher in A Penitent Man because, like I said, he seemed really earnest about his own redemption and righting the wrongs and trying to fix the everything that went wrong on his run and redeeming himself.
Yeah, it's something too, because one of the struggles is like, okay, for him to right his wrongs and redeem himself, he wants to, go out there and do what a judge does.
And like you said, the training never leaves you, no matter how long you haven't had the badge on. And Mac says Asher's victim wasn't legally executed, but unlawfully beaten dead. Tomato, tomato, Mac. Tomato, tomato. Have you seen Mega City 1?
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting depending on who is like writing it, because there are definitely, that's the interesting thing, when you start looking into how Mega City works and how this whole internal affairs thing works, and what separates a good judge from a bad judge. It's very
3
very
seconds.
nebulous.
3 seconds separates a good judge from a bad judge.
Yeah. But I like stories that involve this kind of thing, somebody who's just walking that line between it's like being a judge puts you in the position where you're very likely to kill somebody.
Oh,
where do you draw the line?
Well, it's like absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
And to some extent, kind of a Kraken scenario, except this guy is not becoming a gateway to the dead world judges. But, I was going to make a point here and I just fucking lost it. Oh, shit. It'll come to me here in a second and I'll blurt it out. But yeah, I was listening, I had my iPod on random in the car today, and I have some Patton Oswalt specials on my phone, and a bit came up where he likened living in New York City. When you live there, it turns your head into a cage, turns your brain into a rat, and the city is just a stick antagonizing the rat. And that's what I would imagine existing in Mega City 1 is like. And I mean, here's what I was going to say. I just remembered it. I think I just had a stroke. It is a fine line between unlawful execution and a rightful execution. I mean, look at our friend Judge Priest. He helped all those cultists meet their ultimate purpose in the pit. Was he doing the right thing, or was that a whoopsie doodle?
Yeah, Priest. Priest is one of those guys where it's kind of like you kind of want to see Priest come back, just because he was the right kind of crazy that made a story really exciting and fun. And
he was out there murdering pedophiles, and I'm for it.
He was the meat grinder. Mac mentioned that it's a meat grinder. I think Priest was the meat grinder, quite literally.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see everything that went on in that cult church there at the end of the pit.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited that we get to spend a few progs with this guy because man, this is a cool story. And watching this guy's tale of redemption, which will ultimately, I'm sure, lead him right back to Titan.
You know how I know Asher's earnestly trying to reform? He's even nice to the robot on scene.
That's true. Yeah.
He addresses him politely. He has a chat with him. He was nice to all the robots in the last one. Remember?
Yeah, well, maybe he realizes that he also is essentially just a robot, Well,
I mean a lot of him's robotic now.
Their whole, everything in Mega City is just a fucking has been reprogrammed by the machine anyway, so.
Do they pull a Guatemala when they send you to the Titan and cut your dick off?
I assume. I've always assumed that going to Titan means they fuck up your nose and they cut your dick off.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Well, you don't want people having sex on Titan. It gets in the way of productivity, and reproductivity gets in the way of productivity. Yes.
What? That's one places. They're already on Titan. At least leave them one thing to do.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's something I like stories that involve Titan. I like stories that involve seeing that side of what it's like being a judge. I wish they would do, and they probably already have, but I'd love to see more of there was a series that came out DC Comics a while back. It was like a white collar criminal goes to Arkham because he pleads insanity for stealing a bunch of money, and it's just his experience being at Arkham Asylum and whose bitch he has to be to survive. And he makes friends with Humpty Dumpty, and it's just a fucking cool. You get to see the inner workings. I'd like to see like a series that takes place on Titan. That's kind of like that, you know.
Arkham seems like it'd be pretty okay to place to be because apparently you can just come and go as you please, as fucking many times as they get out. Like,
yeah,
just a revolving door, or there are like saloon doors from the adult section of the video store just flapping back and forth.
Yeah. Well, Gotham City's never had the best track record for keeping people locked up. I don't know.
I mean, Batman's whole code of ethics. If I kill a killer, there's still the same number of killers. Yeah, but the Joker just ate a bus full of babies, dude.
Well,
yeah.
It's also, if you kill like 25 killers, then there's definitely a significantly less amount of killers. So go ahead and go through with it, Batman.
Yeah, I mean, can we agree that at this point Batman should probably have just killed the Joker?
Oh yeah, and he did in what is the fucking Man Who Laughs? No, what is it?
The Batman Who Laughs?
No, the story with the camera on the cover, the most famous one.
Oh, Killing Joke.
Yeah.
That ending's still pretty ambiguous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can cite Dark Knight Returns too, as well.
Yeah, he kills some motherfuckers there. Yeah.
And Mac raises a good point here. He said, so since Asher's no longer a judge, do auxiliaries go to Titan?
Oh, yeah,
or
good point.
Will he just be summarily executed?
Maybe it just goes to a cube. That'd probably be the most insulting thing for a judge, to just go to a standard cube. You know,
that seems like it'd be a death sentence to him, though, because as soon as word got out that a disgraced judge was in, they'd probably tear him apart.
Yeah. So yeah, you're kind of fucked no matter what. I hope he makes it out all right.
Welcome to Mega City.
Yeah. I hope he makes it out all right. But I'm not too hopeful because nothing good ever happens in Mega City.
No, Chimsky happens, and that's been some good. Don't you remember the end of the Three Kings?
Yeah.
The one good thing that happened in Mega City 1 that one time?
When a giant man baby Adolf Hitler and a chimp showed up on Christmas.
That's how fucked up Mega City 1 is. That's the good thing.
I love 2000 AD so much, man.
I can't wait to see Mr. Grofaz come back. I want his absurdity to be back in the Prog.
It's hard to explain to people out here that one of my favorite characters in 2000 AD is Hitler, and also a child party entertainer.
Oh God, I'm dying.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, before we go on to Brink, I want to let you know my dad said to tell you, he said hi and he hopes you feel better. Because he asked me if I wanted to come over tonight and have some pizza with him and his friend. And I said, well, it's podcast night. I said, you want to be on the podcast?
Oh,
and
man.
he said, no. He said, but tell HMK I said hi and I hope he feels better.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Tell him he's got to come on and we'll talk about analog Hitler making balloons for children.
So
let's check out Brink, man. Brink was like a giant word balloon in 5-page form.
But it was good, man. Nolan knows his shit. He turned this entire scenario on its head.
Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he? Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I just feel like we're watching a frog boil in a pot.
It's slow, but it's not boring.
No, it's not. But I just keep feeling like this guy with his constant digging and all the stuff that he's doing. It's just not gonna. It can't end well. It can't end well here in Brink.
He does seem to be a little overconfident, but in his defense, these 3 Habsec authorities brought him in to try to scare him into writing the story that benefited them, and he told them all what they could shove, how hard they could shove it, and where they could shove it.
Yeah.
It was really cool to read, like to watch it unfold. Like he nailed them at every juncture.
Yeah. It was like watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial when they're trying to figure out who pooped in the bed. It was pretty clear at this point.
That used to I knew that was this Always Sunny reference, and now I'll never know because I'll have to have context now.
Right. That's
Who
true.
pooped the
Yeah.
bed? Are you quoting Sonny or the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial?
Oh my God. Yeah, no, but this story, man, like what it's got is like I'm reading this, even though this guy's, oh yeah, man, he's like fucking, he's calling them on their bullshit, but I'm just like, dude, you're kind of pissing everybody off here, and you're kind of digging too deep, and like you can't not, I don't know, you can't not worry about this guy and he's very, very confident, and
He
then he's
is.
doing well.
And I like the juxtaposition with him like basically winning out and seeing himself out. And then the next page, the union has cut his uncle's weird friend to shreds with a razor knife because he talked too much.
Yeah, dude. It's one of these things where like I said, it's just like you the pressure's like boiling, and this guy's kind of unaware of it, and you just keep seeing somebody careening towards danger, but he feels like he's like totally in control. And I don't know, man. I worry about this guy. I guess I've warmed up a little bit more to him, and maybe that's just because he had some fucking big dick energy in this this Prog.
He did. He was slinging it.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's something's happening, and maybe you think we're gonna end up seeing Bridget. You think we're gonna see Curtis?
They keep naming her. I mean, her partner was the one that was killed at the beginning, so I would imagine at some point towards the end, Bridget's going to have to get involved again, because if I'm guessing Nolan's going to dig his way back to her and actually finally make contact.
Yeah. Brink's always got this quality where it's like, you end one story and then it's like the camera pans over to someone else who's completely unrelated, but then their actions are somehow tied. And then like, do we bring it all together at some point at the end of this? And I hope so. I
hope when Nolan finds her, she's at a beauty salon getting her unibrow waxed.
Yeah, she needs it. 2000 AD, outside of Dredd, not known for sexy looking female characters. Durham Red, I guess Durham Red's sexy.
What about Midnight Indicating Shame, sir?
Well, she's lovable in that girl next door kind of way.
I can't wait to see the sexy anime cosplay of her like they did Freddy and Jason.
Oh no.
All right, go with this one. Let me see what you got.
Midnight Indicating Shame is all about body positivity. Yes. Sometimes she's weighs 1,000 pounds and sometimes she weighs 50. I mean, you can't. I don't know. She's a modern girl.
If I could turn myself into a gigantic toothy maud sandworm that could devour an entire ship full of space dolphins, I would have body positivity too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I love Brink. I continue to love Brink, and this was maybe the best one so far, just because it's like it never stops to remind you that just in the background, bad shit is starting to like heat up, and it's like putting this guy in jeopardy. We, the audience, know it. It's like Alfred Hitchcock movie. He has no idea. And that's where the tension comes from in this.
Mm-hmm. We can see his hubris that's going to kill him in the end, but he can't see it.
Yeah. So what about Hope? Man, Hope is laying on the fucking Ed Wood this week.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, sir. I love the fact that they've obviously used Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
They I wonder what would have stopped them. I really don't know if there's some sort of law or some sort of issue, but like probably somebody's estate owns their likeness, but it's like, you wonder why they didn't just make them Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. I'm guessing somebody's estate owns their likeness.
Oh, I mean, Bela Lugosi's son runs that, and I think Boris Karloff's daughter runs his estate. So yeah, you're going to have to definitely go through them.
It's too bad that that wasn't something they could do, just to like somehow make it as if as if Hope was alive during those times and in this universe. And it would be like, it would almost be like the horror story to end all horror stories in the Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff days. Like behind the scenes of them shooting all these movies, there was real paranormal, supernatural shit happening. I'm assuming that's what it is, though. Maybe it's just people murdering people too.
It has to be paranormal. It's Hope.
Yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't that be quite the turn, though, if it was just like, oh, surprise, it's just somebody, just some random guy killing people, But I think we found a voodoo doll, so that gives me hope that we're going to be.
You have hope for Hope.
Oh, my God.
I feel like we've made that joke before.
Well, I feel like we have, yeah. I hope we haven't, but I feel like.
I hope. I'm so enthralled with Hope. Just the art, the story, as much as I was the last time.
Oh my God.
What?
Mac pointed out that and I just had to look at it. It really does appear that is Alfred Hitchcock's head in a jar.
Oh, yeah, on the first page.
Yeah, I did not readily realize that that's what it was, but it does look like Hitchcock. Yeah.
Speaking of Hitchcock, she's totally given her husband a hand jibber when they're talking to Hope here on the second page.
Yes, she is. And he looks really uninvested.
How overstimulated does your world have to be to where that ain't doing it for you?
Oh, I mean, we could go into the long dialogue about how unsatisfying hand jobs are, even to the point where there's one of the most hilarious fake trailers for a horror movie that I've ever seen called Hand Job Cabin. Have you seen this?
I have not.
It's an Evil Dead style horror movie fake, like short film trailer about a cabin, like the Evil Dead cabin, where you go and the ghost, when it's summoned, it comes and it gives you a really like not satisfying hand job.
And people
are like, no, I'll just finish it myself. It's good. And the ghost is like, no, get over here. Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell?
I don't know. Beggars can't be choosers, I say, but hey.
Maybe. This is why no one comes on our podcast. Literally and figuratively.
Sure, yes. Man, they even captured straight up the white zombie eyes here of Bela Lugosi.
Oh yeah,
on page 17, and it's like, yeah, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And that same dynamic, Bela Lugosi frustrated, feeling like completely unappreciated.
Yeah.
Boris Karloff is the king of the world.
Well, yeah, that's the tragedy of those two icons.
Yeah, unfortunately. Do you have a favorite Universal monster or a favorite Universal horror movie?
I do. Man, it's hard to beat the original Dracula. Just the lack of a score in the movie, because it was one of the first talkies, makes it this really unnerving, quiet thing. But then they'll talk, and you can hear the echo because of the soundstage they were on. And Dwight Fry is fucking amazing as Renfield.
Yeah, that's a good one. I always gravitate towards. I like a good tale of madness. So for me, it's always going to be The Invisible Man. I love that one. I love Claude Rains's voice. I mean, it's
I'll show you.
Oh man, it's incredible, and the special effects in that movie are incredible. I mean, really incredible.
Oh yeah, they were light speed ahead of the time. The people didn't believe what they were seeing back then.
Yeah. And we got to vote for Bride of Frankenstein in the chat, and I mean, it is kind of hard to take that one out of the conversation because I've heard so many like film historians say that is kind of the quintessential Universal monster movie. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good choice there too, I think.
And Ernest Schlesinger in that as Dr. Pretorius is amazing. He is just so over the top, and yet somehow manages to stay in the movie, and the movie doesn't lose its tone.
Yeah.
Even with Ernest Schlesinger going full like monkey nuts on it.
Yeah, it's okay to have one. I mean, I guess that goes back to Dwight Fry too. If you got one guy going monkey nuts and everybody else is pretty grounded, sometimes that works.
Dwight Fry made an entire career out of getting murdered by Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff.
What's the guy's name? Oh man, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering now. who he was very regularly cast as the weird, ugly henchman. I can't remember his name right now.
I know who you're talking about. It's pronounced Igor. That guy from Young Frankenstein.
No. There's another guy in the classic. I'll never remember. But I'm thinking of that. Now I'm also thinking of one of my favorites, Mr. Sardonicus. And there's a really good henchman in Sardonicus too. I don't know if you've ever seen Mr. Sardonicus.
I have it on my DVR. I watch Svengoolie every Saturday night on MeTV because I'm old, and he runs some great classic schlock. But now I finally jumped on the Shudder, so now I got to keep up with Joe Bob and the Drive-In.
Oh yeah. I didn't know he was on Shudder, and I have Shudder, but I was never a Joe Bob guy. I never watched him growing up, so I missed out.
Oh yeah, man, Monster Vision. That was like my first real encounter with a horror host. Well, him and Commander USA on Commander USA's Groovy Movies.
Yeah. You weren't a Gilbert Gottfried, Rhonda Shear?
I actually watched Commander USA before I watched Up All Night.
Oh, wow.
I was watching it first, and then I found out about Up All Night when I was a kid.
Yeah. Up All Night was one of those things where I was always excited because I thought I might see a tit, but it was never going to be possible. Never was it going to be possible. But I always felt like if I just watched long enough, I'd see a tit. But no.
That's my parents when I was growing up. We would go back and forth between HBO and Cinemax as the pay channel. Yeah. And I was always way happier when they got Cinemax because Skinemax.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Did we talk about random stuff enough that we don't have to talk about Dexter this week?
I was hoping nobody would notice, but here it is. So, hey, at least we're out of computer world, and now we're into crazy cult farm horror movie world.
Yeah, man. This series takes some twists and turns, and the art style always feels just slightly different. I mean, I guess it makes sense. We're in a different place, but I don't know, man. I'm never gonna be a Sinister or Dexter or combination of Sinister and Dexter fan. I've tried.
But there's Bullet Time. We always have Bullet Time.
Bullet Time is so good, and it's such a great concept. It's it makes you want more from those characters. But once I got more from those characters, I wanted less.
Nope, I'm good. I'm just put it back. Put it back. I like the idea that we're taking this high tech into the sticks now in the farm country. That's an interesting juxtaposition. So I'm hanging on to see where this goes.
Okay, cool. And maybe I'm sure for somebody who's been a fan of Sinister Dexter for a while, maybe these twists and turns are cool. But for me, it's like we've been in so many different weird worlds and download and alternate futures and all these, like, I'm just like, I have a hard time having any sort of tether to it. The closest I ever got was when Sackhead Jason made an appearance.
Oh God. Yeah.
Funhouse, but
we were hooked, and then that ended real quick, and then we were done.
Yep.
They pulled a hush on us where they blew it, and there were still like 5 issues to go.
Yeah, that's true, man. They did. What about Fiends of the Eastern Front? Do you feel like they blew it?
I was happy I remember the dragon from way back. Did you remember the dragon?
No, I did not remember this dragon. No.
Yeah. That I think it was the one that was set in 1919 where he was retelling how Constanta became Constanta.
Oh yeah.
That's the dragon.
Oh, well, welcome back, buddy. Yeah.
But apparently, friggin' Rasputin's here now. So I actually went down the rabbit hole on Rasputin last night after I read this. I just started looking up stuff on Rasputin because I didn't know the whole story and all this. And I was up way too late doing that.
Is Rasputin in as far as this whole quest to eat the dragon's heart? Is that a thing?
Well, that is a thing in this story. As far as I know, he never ate a dragon's heart in Russia, but he sure did. He sure did welcome all the sexual favors he was given.
That's
apparently.
Not what I'm asking. I'm asking. There's Rasputin is in, he shows up in Hellboy and he shows up in all these. Like, is this a thing that has been in the lore of Rasputin, or is this something new for this story?
I don't know. I was reading factual data last night.
Sorry, I'm over here shoving tissues up my nose. If you're wondering why I'm a little distracted. So yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I like the idea of Rasputin. My only connection is this Hellboy and a terrible Hammer movie called Rasputin the Mad Monk.
You're gonna make it, bud. I'm
No,
worried about you.
I'm dying over here.
This is the end. This is the end of the road.
Oh, I'm on the golden road with Jesus right now.
You want Jesus to take the wheel on the podcast?
No. I'll drive.
You just sounded like you were drunk. I drive forever.
Now, don't you start coughing. Don't you start coughing, dude, too. We can't both.
Dude, my allergies have been so bad. Like, Lori wanted to go out to like a state park on Sunday. So we went up into PA and went to Ohio Pile. And we walked around. By the time we got home, it was just me and our daughter sitting on the couch, sneezing our way through a box of tissues, because Lori herself is not afflicted with terrible sinuses and allergies. But my daughter and I, we have garbage sinuses and allergies, and we're just drippy, leaky messes.
You've been listening to the Two Old Men Dying live on air podcast. No, but Fiends of the Eastern Front, when this dragon showed up, and I realized just now that I didn't recognize him before until you specifically brought it up. I may not be as invested in Fiends of the Eastern Front as you are, but
probably not.
I don't hate Fiends of the Eastern Front, and I like the horror imagery. I did want to bring something up that's not related to anything we read this week.
Okay.
But did you see the very last page of the Prog? This Ace Hansel, Guardian of Croix Noir. You see this?
Yes, low rent. Star-Lord here.
Yeah. Did you read it? Did you explore this at all?
No.
Man, I don't know what's going on here, right? But I'm reading. Just curious. Not something that looked interesting to me, but I was reading it at the very bottom. It says Ace Hansel Jr. is also a recording star. His single, A Whole New Day, is out on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, and so forth. And I'll be damned, Johnny, if I didn't go to Spotify and it's there. And it sounds like this. I don't know what's going on.
It's 80s pop.
I don't know who this character is. I don't know if this is something that came back. Maybe the chat can tell us. But I was sort of intrigued by this thing when I saw that somebody had gone and recorded an actual song and put it on iTunes. And then there's this first of 7 monthly issues out now. It's going to be a 7-part issue of this. I don't know. I am curious about this. I don't think I will like anything about this, but I am curious. I'm curious because there's an accompanying fucking pop single, and it's kind of cool. So I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know what happens.
Keep us posted or ghosted. I don't know what the hell's happening.
But before I die, we better end this fucking podcast because I am on the last legs over here.
Oh, man, I am sorry to hear that. Before we get out of here, I just wanted to shout out, I don't know if you saw today, but Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder passed away.
I did. And strangely enough, that seems that band and has come up numerous times on our show. And it was strange.
I am a huge fan of Black Dahlia. Real quick, I'll tell a Black Dahlia story. My buddy Ryan, who I've grown up with my entire life, got his start. He does designs for all kinds of bands now. I know I've talked about him on the podcast before. He's worked with Black Sabbath and Cher and Kiss and this, that, and the other. But he got his start working with Black Dahlia and continued to work for him throughout the years. And he got us, he took me with him to Rockstar Mayhem Fest in Pittsburgh in 2009. And I was a fan of Black Dahlia, but I'd never seen them live. And I got to see my first Black Dahlia concert standing on the stage in the back. And before they went on, Trevor was kind enough to talk to us and hang out for a little bit. Super nice dude. Yeah, Black Dahlia is a huge chunk of my life, and I'm always in when they come around. But yeah, I kind of went slack-jawed at work when I found out.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I've never really I have one Black Dahlia record because you gave me one, and obviously I like, what I heard. It's good metal band, but what I did notice today is that when he had when the news came out that he had died, a lot of people in a lot of these underground like black metal bands that I had listened to were posting stuff where he was like a major supporter of underground music, and was buying all these different like really like small time bands records and posting pictures of them and stuff. And like, so the general sentiment was thanking him for treating underground artists no differently than major label artists. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, he was, for all reports seemed that he was a huge fan of music, and he loved to support the smaller bands and really dug that stuff. So yeah, that's a definite shock. So yeah, I'm still trying to process it because no one saw it coming.
Yeah, sucks, man. Terrible. And I guess they had posted a suicide prevention awareness number when they announced it. So
yeah, I hate every implication of that.
Yeah.
So if you got some, play it loud tonight. And to not end our podcast on a down note, I got one thing to say, my friend.
Yes. Take us home.
Wiener.